Have you ever woken up, looked down and wondered, is this just what happens after 60? Let me tell you something that may shock you. The real reason your erections are weaker, your energy is fading, and the warmth in your lower body is disappearing is not your age, it's your breakfast. Yes, that first hour of your day could be the silent killer of your circulation, or the most powerful tool to bring it back. I'm Dr. Mohit Kara. For over 30 years I've helped thousands of men across America reclaim their vitality, strength, and confidence, not with magic pills or surgeries, but by changing something far simpler: the way they fuel their body when the day begins. Here's the truth: most men over 60 are missing the 5 foods that quietly unlock blood flow, rebuild pelvic strength, and restore the kind of masculinity they thought they had lost forever. These aren't rare superfoods or expensive supplements, they're real, familiar, and right in front of you. You've just never used them this way. In the next few minutes I'm going to show you how to transform your mornings with 5 specific foods that have helped men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s feel stronger, perform better, and wake up excited to start the day. And at the end I'll reveal the one breakfast tweak that made a 70-year-old man tell me, "Doc, I feel like I'm 40 again." Before we dive in, take a moment to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a real science-backed tip designed specifically for men over 60. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't quite hit the mark, type 0. Your feedback helps me create content that truly supports your health and vitality. Now that you're here, let's get into the first and perhaps most underrated change you can make tomorrow morning: a simple food most men have sitting in their fridge yet almost never think of as a tool for stronger blood flow and firmer function. I'm talking about whole eggs, and why after 60 they could be the missing link to waking up with the kind of strength you haven't felt in years. Whole eggs, the morning ignition for circulation. 1 whole eggs, the morning ignition for circulation. Let me take you back to a quiet morning. In my office, a man in his late 60s sat across from me, shoulders hunched, eyes tired. He leaned forward and said, almost in a whisper, "Doc, I don't wake up like I used to. It's been years." I thought maybe it was just part of getting older. I've heard that line more times than I can count, but what I told him that morning changed everything. What if I told you the solution might already be in your refrigerator? Whole eggs, yes, the kind you've probably eaten all your life, are one of the most overlooked tools for restoring male vitality. And when I say whole, I mean with the yolk. That golden center holds some of the most powerful nutrients for men over 60. Leucine, a key amino acid found in eggs, supports the rebuilding of muscle tissue, especially the deep pelvic muscles that control everything from stability and bladder function to sexual performance. But it doesn't stop there. Eggs are packed with vitamin D, B12, and choline, nutrients that don't just support nerve and muscle health, but also play a major role in testosterone production and blood vessel repair. And here's the part no one talks about: these nutrients are especially crucial first thing in the morning, when your body is most ready to absorb and use them. Yet most men skip breakfast or reach for empty carbs, toast, coffee, maybe a sugary cereal, and wonder why their energy, stamina, and confidence slowly fade. Back to that patient of mine, I told him, try 2 boiled eggs every morning. No butter, no toast, just the eggs. Do it for a month. For weeks later he called me and said something I'll never forget. "Doc, I woke up like I was 40 again. That wasn't an accident. That was circulation returning. That was muscle repair in motion. That was his body finally getting what it had been asking for all along." You see, the body doesn't give up on us. It responds to how we treat it, and the truth is the most powerful medicine for male performance after 60 doesn't come in a prescription bottle. It often comes in the form of real food at the right time. So if you're still skipping breakfast or avoiding eggs because of old fears about cholesterol, it might be time to reconsider. The science has changed, and so can you. But don't stop at eggs, because what Happens next when you combine the right fuel with the right fiber can change the way blood moves through your body entirely. Let me show you the second food that quietly cleans your arteries every morning, and it might be sitting in your pantry right now too. Oats with chia. Oats with chia seeds, the artery cleanser. Seeds, the artery cleanser. I'll never forget Henry. He was 68. Retired just 2 years and already feeling like life had started to slow him down. He came to see me not just because of problems in the bedroom, but because everything felt heavy: his legs, his energy, his motivation. I used to walk everywhere, he told me. Now I sit most of the day, even stairs feel like a mountain. He wasn't sick, he wasn't lazy, his body was just running low on circulation. When I asked him what he had for breakfast, he chuckled and said, "Whatever's fast: cereal, toast, maybe just coffee if I'm in a rush." It's such a common answer, and it breaks my heart every time, because the truth is that kind of breakfast is quietly hurting you. Fast, sugary, processed foods spike your blood sugar, cause inflammation, and tighten your blood vessels, especially the smaller ones that carry blood to your lower body. So I asked Henry to make a simple swap. Trade the cereal for a warm bowl of oats, topped with chia seeds. That's it. Nothing expensive, nothing complicated, just food your body understands. Here's why it works. Oats are rich in beta-glucan, a special type of fiber that actually helps clean out cholesterol and build up along your artery walls. Think of it as nature's internal scrub brush, gently clearing the path so blood can flow freely again. But when you add chia seeds into the mix, that's where the magic happens. These tiny seeds are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium and potassium, all essential for relaxing blood vessels, reducing inflammation, and improving blood pressure. Within 2 weeks, Henry said he felt lighter, his legs didn't ache as much, he started sleeping better, and yes, he noticed a spark coming back to his intimacy too. "Doc," he told me, "I didn't think oatmeal could do that, but that's the power of giving your arteries exactly what they need and doing it first thing in the morning when your body is primed to heal." What most men don't realize is that good circulation isn't about chasing big changes, it's about small, consistent habits that build over time. And when the very first thing you put into your body each day is something that supports your blood flow, everything else starts to improve: your energy, your movement, your ability to rise in more ways than one. But we're only just getting started, because the next food I'm going to show you doesn't just help circulation, it mimics the effects of Viagra itself, naturally, without pills and without side effects. And chances are you've been eating it wrong your whole life. Watermelon, the natural Viagra. 3. Watermelon, the natural Viagra. I remember the look on Bill's face when I first mentioned watermelon. He was 70, full of dry humor and skepticism. "Doc," he laughed, "that's a picnic fruit, not a prescription." He wasn't trying to be disrespectful, he was just tired of being disappointed. Pills gave him side effects. Creams felt awkward, and yet the issue remained: he hadn't felt truly alive in his lower body in years. That quiet spark of manhood, it was fading, and he was afraid it was gone for good. But what Bill didn't know, what most men don't, is that watermelon holds a secret that could change everything it contains. A powerful compound called citrulline, an amino acid your body converts into arginine, which then becomes nitric oxide, the very same substance behind how pharmaceutical ED drugs work. Nitric oxide relaxes and expands blood vessels, allowing blood to flow more easily, especially to areas that are most responsive to circulation. The beauty of watermelon is that it delivers this effect naturally without side effects, and it works best when eaten on an empty stomach, like first thing in the morning. And here's the part almost no one realizes: the highest concentration of citrin isn't in the sweet red flesh, it's in the white rind that most people throw away. That's the goldmine. Blend it into a smoothie or eat it slowly. Your body won't care how it gets in, it will thank you either way. I asked Bill to give it a shot, just a few slices of watermelon each morning, including the white part before breakfast. 2 weeks later, he called me and This time he didn't joke, his voice was softer, more serious. Doc, he said, I don't know if it's the watermelon or something else, but something's waking up down there. What was waking up wasn't just circulation, it was confidence, it was hope. You see, it's easy to assume you're past your prime, that the body has moved on and left certain parts behind, but the truth is those parts are still listening. They're just waiting for the right signal. Watermelon is that signal, a natural, powerful message to your blood vessels that says it's okay to open up again, and once they do, everything changes, from your sense of energy to your sense of manhood. But if you want to take that morning circulation even further, to stabilize your balance, support your nerves, and bring strength back to your legs and pelvis, then what comes next might surprise you even more, because the food I'm about to share is warm, earthy, and humble, but when paired with one mineral, it becomes one of the most powerful circulation stabilizers I've ever seen. 4 steamed sweet potato plus. Steamed sweet potato plus Celtic salt, the circulation stabilizer. Celtic salt, the circulation stabilizer. Thomas came to see me because of something he couldn't quite put into words. He wasn't in pain exactly, but he described this dull heaviness in his groin, a strange numbness in his legs. When he got out of bed, Doc, I feel like I've aged 10 years in just one. He told me he had tried stretching, he had tried walking more, he even tried one of those vibrating leg machines someone recommended. Nothing helped, and every morning the same story: sluggishness, imbalance, a sense that his body wasn't waking up with him. When I asked about his breakfast, he shrugged. Sometimes nothing, maybe toast. If I'm hungry, usually just coffee. And there it was again, the same pattern I'd seen in so many older men. They skip the one meal that has the greatest chance to restore equilibrium in their nervous system, muscles, and circulation. So I gave Thomas something simple: half a steamed sweet potato with a pinch of Celtic sea salt plus a glass of warm water. That's it. He looked confused. You mean just that? I nodded. Just that, and do it within 30 minutes of waking up. Here's why this works: sweet potatoes are rich in complex carbohydrates, which your muscles, especially the ones in your legs and pelvis, desperately need after a long night of fasting. This clean, steady energy helps restore glycogen levels and prevent the crash that comes from skipping breakfast or loading up on sugar. But what truly completes the effect is the Celtic salt. Unlike regular table salt, Celtic sea salt is full of essential minerals, over 80 of them, including magnesium and potassium, which support healthy nerve signals, hydration, and blood pressure balance. 3 days later, Thomas called me. Doc, he said, I don't know what's going on, but I stood up this morning and my legs felt lighter. I didn't have to grab the nightstand to balance myself. He paused for a moment, then added, I think I feel grounded again. And that's the best way to describe what this combination does. It grounds you. It gives your lower body the stability it's been missing, not through pills or stretching routines, but through food that nourishes you at a cellular level. The salt doesn't just season the potato, it signals your nervous system to wake up and start firing correctly again. It helps your muscles engage, your vessels open, your feet feel like they're part of you again. And while this might feel like a breakthrough, we're not quite finished yet, because there's one last food that most men ignore, something so powerful. It's often compared to a vascular reset button. It's bold, it's vibrant in color, and when used properly, it can supercharge everything we've built so far. Let's talk about it. 5 beats. The beats, the circulation booster most men forget. Circulation booster most men forget. I've had men come into my office after trying everything: prescriptions, supplements, even gadgets they found online, and they sit across from me, disappointed, frustrated, and exhausted. One man in particular, named Frank, was 72 and had that quiet kind of dignity, the type that made it hard for him to admit just how much this was affecting him. Doc, he said, I've accepted that my best years might be behind me, but part of me is still hoping I'm wrong. And I looked at him and said, you're not wrong, Frank, you're just missing something. Your body still needs that when I told him about beets. Now I'll admit beets aren't the most glamorous food some men wrinkle their noses when I bring them up, but what most don't know is that beets are one of the most powerful natural sources of nitrates which your body turns into nitric oxide, the very same molecule responsible for expanding blood vessels, increasing blood flow and improving oxygen delivery to your muscles and organs. That includes the lower regions, the parts that quietly suffer most when circulation starts to decline with age. I had Frank start drinking a small glass of beet juice in the morning or roasting a few beets and adding them to a light breakfast. Within a week, he told me something had shifted. His legs didn't feel as tired, his hands were warmer, he felt more present in his body, and in his words it felt like everything started working again in the right places. What's beautiful about beets is that they don't just support one area, they help the entire vascular system. They work in harmony with the foods we've already talked about: eggs to rebuild muscle, oats to clean the arteries, watermelon to open blood flow, sweet potatoes to stabilize energy, and now beets to supercharge the whole system. Most men over 60 are walking around underpowered, not because they're broken, but because their blood simply isn't moving the way it used to. Beets help bring that power back. They don't just improve circulation, they restore vitality. They reconnect you to the parts of yourself you may have thought were slipping away. And here's the thing, adding all 5 of these foods to your morning doesn't require a diet overhaul, fancy ingredients, or complicated prep, but there is one final step that determines whether all of this will actually work for you or not, because even the best foods won't help if you're making the most common mistake older men don't even realize they're making and fixing that one thing. It could be the key to everything. Let's wrap this up, because this last part might be the most important of all 6. What you must do. What you must do from now on. From now on. If you've made it this far, it tells me something important. You care. You're not ready to give in to the slow fade, and neither should you, because what I've seen time and time again is that the body, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, responds when you give it the right tools. Not pills, not promises, just food that works with your biology, not against it. Let's take a moment to remember what those tools are: whole eggs to rebuild the muscles that support strength and intimacy, oats with chia seeds to clean your arteries and keep blood flowing freely, watermelon to naturally open blood vessels and bring energy back where it counts, sweet potatoes with Celtic salt to restore balance and stability every morning, and beets, bold, earthy and powerful, to recharge your entire circulatory system. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need to be perfect. What you need is to begin tomorrow morning. Pick just one of these foods and make it your habit. You'll be giving your body what it's been silently asking for all along: nourishment, circulation, restoration, and the changes you'll feel may be small at first. A little more warmth, a steadier step, a stronger presence in moments that matter. But stay with it, and those changes can become transformation. I've seen it in my patients. I've seen it in men who thought their best days were behind them, only to realize they were just beginning again. So now it's your move. Will you give your mornings back to your body and take back the man you know you still are? If this message spoke to you or reminded you that it's never too late to feel alive again, give this video a like so more men can find it. Share it with a friend, a brother, or anyone who needs this reminder. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you're trying, what's working, or even what you're struggling with. I read every single one. And if you'd like to support this channel and help me keep making content like this for our community, consider making a small donation using the link below. Your support means the world and helps keep this mission going strong.